Yeah. So when it comes to that in your mentorship role, right? So you're going from boxer to now you're being a trainer, coach, and a promoter. How does that shape your view of the actual sport now that you're getting into that?
I've always known it's like dirty. I mean, it's kind of criminal almost. And then everybody's trying to step on everybody. So, I mean, I think that's where my viciousness helps, like the number 6 middleweight in the world calls out Austin. Austin's 16-0, but Austin's just starting to make it out, right? He's just starting to accrue a little bit of money, right? And, he came from very humble beginnings. So this guy's already had all his TV fights and stuff, and he got knocked out and he got released. So he's trying to snuff out Austin before he even gets the candle lit.
Gotcha.
And see, so that makes me really angry, right? Now, if Cordell Booker, Austin's 21 years old, Cordell Booker's 33, he's got 24 fights. If Cordell Booker wants to revisit this fight after Austin's had another year and a half and he's had 3 or 4 fights, we could do that. But I'm not going to sit here and let somebody try to take advantage of my fighter. And plus, nobody even knows who the hell Cordell Booker is now.
Yeah.
Like, PBC released him. He got knocked out by Ammo Williams in 90 seconds. And, Austin is bad publicity because of the haircut and people saying things and this and that. But Austin's coming on hot, right? He just beat a 10-5 guy in a split decision. He beat a 12-2 guy. And I think also my view is, there was a lot of times when I was coming up and I had to fight this 13-0 guy. I had to fight this guy, all for ego. But in the end, I want Austin to make sure, or any fighter I work with, to have some type of financial freedom or independence afterwards. Like, if my lowest goal for Austin is in 3 years that he owns his house outright. That's my lowest goal for him. Now, if he becomes a world champion and makes millions of dollars, that's great. But do you know at 23 or 24, if you have a $300,000 or $400,000 mortgage paid off, what percentage that puts you in for the rest of your life? You can work a regular job and live like a king. So I just want those types of things. These guys are paying this price, going through this ridicule and sacrificing their health for the entertainment of others. I want them to have a comfortable life when they're done. That's what I care about more than anything.
Yeah, I think that's amazing because you don't hear good stories about a lot of promoters. When they start out, it's like once they get out the contract with that promoter, then it's a lot of shadiness. But the fact that you're looking out for him, no, let's wait till you get some more experience. Because it seems to be that, by Austin being real popular on social media, this guy's kind of hitching a ride. And then, like you said, trying to take advantage of him while he's still young.
Yeah, and I want, and maybe this will change as I get larger. And, when I was really matching a lot of fights for PBC and stuff, I had this huge roster of fighters I was an agent for. But I prefer to keep more of my relationships more personal. I mean, maybe that's not good. I don't know yet. But, I really, I know Rashawn. I know James. I know Austin. And, I care about these guys. And, and I make it, especially early when I'm kind of breaking them down a little bit, I'm like, you need me, right? I'm always, but see, in the end, they know that I need them too, right? So they got to have a stage to fight on, but I got to have somebody to put on my stage.
Yeah.
So see, it's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
And I just want, it's just like a marriage, right? People say it's 50-50. That's a lot. When you're with the fighter, it's 100 from the promoter and 100 from the fighter. We got to both be doing everything for each other.
Yep.
And I'm very transparent. Like most managers or promoters, they don't teach their fighters of what's going on, where the dollars are going, why they go here. And, like I said, this kid Rashawn, he's only been in the gym a little while, but I know he is going to be a star. I just know it. It's written all over him, unless there's something that comes up unexpected. But I'm already starting to teach him about the business of boxing. And I'm going to show him all the career paths, why we would do this, what my idea was. I empower him, right? I'm just a consultant. I make them, they're all their own business owner of their own career. And I'm like I said, I'm a consultant. I'm always a 49% partner. And the reason is when Austin fights, only he can die.
Gotcha. So when you talk about Austin and Rashawn and these other boxers, all of them seem to come through the Hurt Factory, right?
Well, James came. He actually runs a gym out in Roanoke.
Okay.
But I met James here, and James trains with me occasionally. I love James. Temperament-wise, he's probably one of the closest people I've ever met to myself. I mean, that's a hard man, but he can be so kind too. But I think he and I expect the same thing out of other people, and then when they don't give us those same courtesies, we have very adverse reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach Drago, he trains with me part-time, but he also trains at Go Tardy Boxing with Dallas Brewer. Those are kind of like my top four. Right now is probably, of course, Austin, I got the most in him. Rashawn, I have a really close personal relationship, but he's in the infantile stages. James paid the dues. 6-1. He's getting ready to fight a 13-1 heavyweight in Baltimore here in December. And then, of course, Zach Drago. I believe Zach's 5-0. And I have the least personal relationship with Zach, and Zach had an MMA career. He had a great mixed martial arts career, and I think that maybe some people had burned him or something. So he has some trust issues, and so we're moving at his pace.
That's good.
He's the boss.
That's good. So how would you think the Hurt Factory has shaped boxing around the community? Lynchburg, Bedford, Madison Heights.
Well, there was no boxing gyms here for like 15 years or something. Then I started this one. Now there's like this one place says they have boxing, and there's two little smaller boxing clubs here in town. So imitation is the greatest form of flattery. As I was telling you earlier, also with the Hurt Factory, I always said I was going to bring boxing back. I think it was 27 years, maybe 1982 was the last professional boxing match in the city. Since then, 2009, I promoted the first one. And now out of the 19 in the history of Lynchburg, I think I've done 12 of them. And then I'm going to do 2 next year. So, I mean, I would say that the people I've been blessed to meet, the fighters that have come in the gym, the amazing fan support and sponsorship support from the community. Because, see, like, it's easy for me to say, oh, it's me. I'm the conduit, right? But without these businesses, without Pack Law Group and Level Up Foundation Repair and Premier Concrete, without these businesses, without Freedom Heating and Air Electrical, without the 1,000 people, the 1,200 people that come, it wouldn't matter. But what we've done is we've made it matter, right? So like 4 years ago, Austin Deonda was a troubled teenager with no prospects for a better future. The kid just fought on ESPN, right?
It's a life changer.
I mean, we did that. I mean, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Now he can, what is it Pacquiao said? From nothing to something.
Yep. So when you talk about Austin, right, you're talking about a troubled teenager. I remember going to school and I played basketball. I played football as my primary sport and I ran track. But there were also some other guys that I know that just loved to fight, right? They didn't like football, basketball, track. They didn't like those sports. What gateway or how would they get involved in boxing if a parent's thinking like, okay, let me try this? I've tried everything else, but they just seem to have a natural love for fighting.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I came into it too. I came in the gym. I was not very nice. They really whipped my ass when I first walked in the gym. But if the child is 13 and under, they can go to Hilton's Hitters. That's the program for 13 and under here at the gym. Owen Hilton runs it. He has an amazing patience with children that I do not possess. And he's, like I said, he's really drawn to it. It's looking at like his legacy and the legacy of his father, Charles Hilton, instilling those types of things into those fighters. He had a guy that just went to nationals. He also had a kid that won the state silver glove. So if they're trying to compete, it's a great place. If they're not trying to compete and they're just trying to use the discipline of boxing if a kid gets an outlet to actually fight, they usually stop trying to fight all the time, right? Because they get to see the consequences. Oh, I'm sore. It's hard, right? They only want to fight all the time out of the ignorance of it. And plus it's natural. I mean, we're a violent species. We always have been. Look at through the history of the world. And, if the kid's under 13, they can message me at the Hurt Factory. And, like I said, we have all skill levels. Everybody's always like, I'm a beginner. I'm a beginner. Do you work with beginners? Well, Owen's a coach. He was a beginner when I got him. Aubrey's a coach. She was a beginner when I got her. Rashawn coaches. Aziz, he learned to fight somewhere else, but, he coaches here, Grizzly. We just got to, like I said, we've been blessed to have, it's really recently the people that have been coming into the gym. When I teach them, it's like I'm teaching 20 people because then they start teaching somebody.
Gotcha.
And that's when the real change is starting to happen, right? Instead of it just me and Owen, I teach this person and they teach 10 people. And then some of these people, they just, after they work out, they stay around and just coach the people that are newer than them for no reason. I'm not even paying them. They love to share the art of boxing. And it's amazing the positive movement that we're having. And I just can't believe that I've been repaid with such kindness, especially for 10 years of me being such an asshole.